Hey, it's me again. I want to talk about some games I've been playing recently, and they've come under advisement from a certain Let's Player. His name's Northern Line. If you've played some roguelites before, you probably know who he is, so let's get straight into it. SNKRX. SNKRX? SNKRX? You pilot around this line made up of dudes you can buy at the market. They do things to the enemy pills, and if you beat them all, you get more money to buy dudes at the market. If some of your dudes are similar, they give the whole line a teamwork bonus. There's a little bit of magic in a title that costs this little and is spit shine to such a high degree. I mean, look at the font choice here. Listen to the music. Look at the animations for the rerolls and the level ups. I mean, just look at the way the things wiggle. There's a lot of wiggling in this game. It appears to be a tried and true formula for making your game look a lot better. Now watch the actual gameplay. With these pills and abstracted projectiles and so on. The thing that SNKRX does so well is that it's a true child of the auto-battler genre. You may be misled into thinking this game's like Snake, but the Snake part seems to be ancillary to the entire process. The menu management is where the game actually shines, and the gameplay is built around creating anticipation for the next bout of rerolls. It's a rather sophisticated Skinner box, and gives you all the joy of your favorite gacha game in about 10 minutes. I'm not so sure about that second one. I have a buddy who's into gacha games, and he's been playing them for like 3 years, so I have to imagine there's something there. In terms of balance and mechanical complexity, the game is relatively Spartan, with a lot of the bonuses being flat numerical along with the items. The real meat of the game is how much of it makes you hanker for the next round of commerce. There's some cool items in there, and some top-notch little dudes in there too, but usually the guys who make the biggest circles or shoot the most shots are what are going to carry you forward. The real joy of SNKRX is in these UI flourishes, and in how it stuffs all the joy of auto-battling into a fast, anticipated and release cycle. I would say that the gameplay itself is actually kind of rough, especially with the projectile pills and the explodey pills. Winning New Game Plus 5 is incredibly rough, and I've only made it to Wave 19 on there before I decide to hang up my gloves. At some point in time, the actual gameplay sort of just becomes tedium because the mathematical intricacies and complexity to try and get over the wave are so high that piloting a worm around for 30 minutes to try and compensate for a weak build just isn't fun. On the other hand, anything below New Game Plus 5 is really freaking fun. I think this game is awesome. It's obvious the dev balanced around the commerce being more important than the conga line puppeteering, I think. And doing quick runs of 10 minutes to tinker around with a fun-filled internal economy is a great way to spend $4.50 plus a few afternoons. Hell, it's got me thinking I might take some auto chess games out for a spin. Lord forgive me, I'm about to go back to my old ways. Circadian dice. This one's free, if you prefer. I think this game is maybe a patch or two away from being the Slay the Spire of dice building. I played the crap out of Dicey Dungeons, the main banner bearer in this genre from 2 years ago, but this one is a whole something else. Dicey Dungeon was good, but it doesn't have the raw mechanical weight, the absolute numerical stuffing, and the level of borrowed assets, let's say. Each run is about 8 waves, and you start with one of 8 preset characters who are all pretty well balanced. They start off with 2 dice, and after you get enough EXP, you get 3 or 4. While you go forward, you can buy better faces for your dice. Do you have an hour? This game has more mechanics than an aircraft carrier. The symbol density per pixel in the market is absurd. It's like if you could read the green scrolling text in the Matrix. By my count, the game has 14 or 15 unique mechanics per dice face. The characters are optimized around different mechanics obviously, but seeing as this is a roguelite, you don't really get to choose exactly what you get going on in each run. Each of the dungeons, which is what you are running down in this case, has a unique mechanic it's balanced around too. So you're going to have an actual plan for each dungeon that you want to conquer. What that means is if you have 8 characters and about 15 dungeons, that you got to do a lot of planning, and there's a lot of gameplay here, a lot of meat in the bone. Now early on I was going to complain that the game, while being about dice, was still too deep in the RNG hole to be enjoyable. I have erred. I beseech you for forgiveness. If you gave me a few bucks in a year, I could write a textbook on this game's mechanics and their correct application. In terms of skill, this game needs to have 5 YouTubers spending 7 hours a day putting together strategy guides and spreadsheets. The sheer mathematical complexity paired with the short runs and the game's propensity for synergy are just très magnifique. This game is to Dicey Dungeons what Crusader Kings 2 is to Civ. Again, it's free, and you probably won't think it's that amazing for the first 2 or 3 hours, but after that, this could be a Slay the Spire $200 ordeal. It could be way more than that actually, because it seems to be hitting parts of my brain that Slay the Spire didn't even know existed. Hopefully one of these games is something that you're looking for, and if you do end up playing it, please let me know about either or. Circadian Dice has like all of 500 words of discourse on it online, so I just kind of want to talk about this game. I've been playing a lot of it. Anyway, thanks.